Hi, Denise Naylor here. Today I want to look a bit more closely into what I mean by the circle of trust or circle of credit. The circle of credit dictates how long it takes for you to receive cash from your customer and how long you take to pay your debts. It's measured in time. Let's look more closely. By way of example, let's say you are selling goods, and this is shown on the left-hand side of the slide. When your customer pays you cash, you put it into your bank account, and that's shown on the right-hand side of the slide. Maybe not at the exact moment of receipt, but as soon after as is practical for you. By the way, never leave excess cash lying around because you are open to the risk of it being lost or stolen. In your records, you open an account named Cash Sales and record the sale in that account. This is shown in blue in the middle column of the slide. Now, when your customer takes credit, you do not receive cash at the time of the sale. Instead, you allow your customer to receive the goods before they pay you. You trust them to pay you at the due time. In the books and records, you open an account receivable for your customer, and that's shown in green in the middle column of the slide. You name the account receivable for your customer and record the sale in that account. For every credit customer, you open an account in their name. So you might have an account for J. Smith and another account for M. Khan, and so on. You might also find this called the personal account. Now, why would you do this? Well, would you agree with me that you want to get paid by that credit customer? Yes, of course. And would you also like to have many credit customers and grow your business and cash? Yes, of course you would. So by recording using personal named accounts, you keep track of how much each customer owes you. And when the time comes to ask them for payment, this system means that you ask the correct customer for the correct amount of money on the correct date, every time. By the way, some of you might be more familiar with the description debtors instead of accounts receivable. The terms mean the same, but international accounting has chosen to use the term receivables. I don't know completely why, but perhaps it's because not every school child learns Latin anymore. Notice that your business will have only one account for cash sales, and that's because you don't need to record the names of your cash customers because they've paid you already. But you do need to record the amounts receivable from credit customers to make sure you get cash from them. Now let's look at the debts you have to pay. Sorry to mention this. Your credit rating determines whether or not you personally get credit as an individual. It's the same in business. With an established business, you can ask your supplier to extend credit to you. Or you can take out a bank loan, which is the same as asking the bank to extend credit to you. Taking these actions means that you too can delay payment. Let's look at how this works. The top of the slide shows your customers paying you and the cash going into your bank account. The bank account is shown on the right-hand side of the slide. Now, when you pay out your cash, this is shown as an arrow moving from the right-hand side as you pay your suppliers, and that's shown in the center column in the red. This means that your suppliers will continue to send you the goods you need to sell because you've paid them on time. International accounting has decided to use the term payable rather than the older term creditor. You name the payable account for your supplier just as you did for receivables and record the purchase in their personal account, so that when the time comes for you to pay them, you can pay the correct supplier, the correct amount of money, on the correct date, every time. That's the circle of credit. It's all about time. When your customer pays cash, you receive it now. But when you offer your customer credit, you receive the cash later. And when you are offered credit, you pay later. Now, you might need more stages in your circle. For instance, if you are manufacturing goods. And your circle might be measured in days. It might be measured in weeks or even months. But every circle of credit creates a time gap to allow money to circulate. And when your money circulates, you have the chance to use the time gap in the circle of credit to put your cash to profitable use. So when you are offered credit, take it and find a profitable use for your own money in the time gap. We'll look at how you can do this in a later video. So how does this sound to you? Are you the person who's perhaps a bit lazy when it comes to managing money and credit? Someone who thinks it's too risky or doesn't know exactly what to do? Or are you the person who grasps the opportunity to take credit when it's offered, making use of the time gap to increase your cash? Someone who is willing to learn how to make better use of whatever amount of cash you have right now. Don't just exchange your cash, circulate your cash and use the time gap to increase it. And do join me next week.